dimensions. I'm locked inside a fantasy. In exchange for happiness, I traded in my sanity. Trying to reach out to God, he ain't even answering. Voices talking all at once and I can't understand.
Here we are again on another endeavor. I'm with my boy Roy the Virus. You already know how I'm coming.
Yo.
It's your boy Suave the Wiz with the Mad Ad Podcast. And I'm interviewing the Notorious, the Wild, you know what I'm saying, the Cunning, Roy the Virus. You feel me?
What's going on, yo?
So that's how we doing it. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of rappers that are out here and they like saying that this music stuff is, I guess, their bread and butter. Do you believe that this music stuff is your bread and butter?
Honestly, bruh, that's a good question because I genuinely don't think I'm good at like anything else as far as putting words and syllables together. You know, whether or not that's what people want to hear at the moment, I know there's an audience for it. You feel me? I definitely say I'm putting my all into this shit.
Yeah, for sure. There's lots of rappers, again, not to, put you in a group with anybody. There's lots of rappers that are, really lyrical assassins. They're people that really study the craft and they, they're bubbling at it, they're really good at it. And yet they don't progress. Do you feel like it's the fact that they're not pushing themselves, or is it a promotion issue?
I definitely think many factors can play a part in that shit. Some people, I feel like they're trying to recapture that lightning in a bottle, and it shouldn't be that way. You should just continue to go with like your gut,
just originality.
Yeah, you know
just
what I'm
intuition.
saying.
You know what I'm saying? Just be intuitive with your music.
Exactly.
It's more of a feel anyway, you know what I'm saying? I get
of course.
It's always a vibe whenever you get into something, when you start writing
right.
the first couple bars.
And then say you kind of lose that trajectory, you kind of start to get people like not exactly fucking with your shit. You can always use that as motivation to come back with
feel your fire.
Exactly, you know
feel
what I'm saying?
Feel the fire to just keep on writing and keep on
exactly
creating.
As long as you don't let that shit discourage you and you end up keep making shit that you genuinely fuck with, there's gonna be someone else out in the world that's gonna fuck with that shit.
That's definitely true. What I say is, it's also, alright, have to ask, where are you from? I'm sorry I didn't even get to it sooner. Where are you from, Roy the Virus?
I am from Sunrise, Florida.
Cool, man. Do you go by any other names? Are you just Roy the Virus?
Roy the Virus, James Roy. Some people refer to me as just the Virus. You know what I'm saying? I know this whole fucking Corona shit going on. But there's people that know me strictly as James, from school and shit. And then when I started to get more into rapping and popping up to different events and shows, they know me as. So it really depends on
you kind of had the Peter Parker effect.
Yeah, no, that's honestly the best way I can explain it.
Yeah, the Peter Parker effect.
I genuinely fuck with that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit going on, a lot of scenes popping right now.
Yeah, definitely the alter ego shit,
Definitely.
Like a Bruce Banner, Incredible Hulk type shit.
Yeah, so you like a comic book rapper, you the type of rapper.
Yeah, bro, I love superheroes and super villains. I love
the idea
of just incorporating comic book references in my music, especially when someone catches that shit. It's just kind of more enjoyable for me,
Definitely. It's always like that when you're penning something nice.
I see you got the Marvel poster on your wall, bro. I'm about to take that shit when you're not looking.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Yeah. That's how it is. Had it in the plastic, I had to put that bitch up, bro. But it's alright, check it. So, who are your influences? Where do you feel or where do you believe your flow stemmed from? Where did your love of hip hop come from?
Well, when I first got into rap, it was 2010. So you had Lil Wayne, Drake, Eminem drop Recovery. So on the radio you hear Not Afraid and Love the Way You Lie.
I fuck with Recovery.
I feel you.
I fuck with Recovery a little bit.
But then it was I knew Eminem was going to be my favorite rapper, and then it's going back watching his old music videos When I'm Gone or My Name Is Real Slim Shady.
Mm-hmm.
I'm yo, and not even that
or his freestyles.
Or it's just his freestyles,
Jeez.
bro. It just it just makes you want to rewind and watch it again and like study it and remember it and shit.
It's like what I check what rap is. It's complex mathematics.
Of course.
But it's disguised as nothing.
Yeah, and then when people knew like my feelings towards when trap music started to come into play, like 2014.
Yeah.
Like, and they knew how much.
One thing I could say though, trap has always been around.
Yeah, yeah.
But the new type of trap, let's say new age trap.
Right.
That's what you're kind of saying. That
Yeah. So like they would put me on to like Biggie and Pac, and then I remember the Straight Outta Compton movie was coming out, so I was very interested in just like diving into like NWA and Eazy-E, MC Ren, and like I remember my boy was like, "Yo, you should check out Big L," and then you should check out, and then my friends started putting me on to like MF Doom.
Oh man, it's 2014.
Like, 2014, 2015 area, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm 16 years old listening to like all these old school rappers while everyone around me is listening to like what's being put out at the moment. And I was always getting clowned for that shit. Like, yo, why you fucking live in the past, bro? Like, you need to live in the present. I'm like, bro, just cause like I haven't heard this shit yet doesn't mean that shit's old, bro. That shit's new to me still. Like, you feel me?
Exactly. I had a similar issue. I mean, I like music all across the board.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like any era, 2000, 2010, 1990. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't like old hip hop like 1970.
Oh yeah, I mean, I respect it, but that wasn't when it was like in its purest form.
Yeah, it's just. But I mean, I have a love for hip hop overall. Generally.
Hip hop is definitely like, I take that shit to heart.
So I would say any upcoming projects, you know, how long is it until you actually release a real album? Let's say that. When do you feel like you'll be ready for that? A real studio album, when do you feel like you'll be ready to do that?
Honestly, I feel like I really haven't found my sense of identity yet as far as like building the characters in my music. Because I don't know if you know, but I like to rap from like different egos. You know, like you got James and you got Roy. You know, you can definitely tell which song belongs to who, you know? And I'm still kind of just trying to figure that out. You know, I can definitely say like I'm a new person, you know? So I definitely don't even know what I'm gonna be doing like tomorrow type shit. But I can definitely say like I'm gonna drop an EP somewhere this year, you know? But right now I just wanna work on like my visuals, music videos, skits, you know? I wanna write movies,
you gotta get into production. You gotta start somewhere. Music is a big portal to, you know, getting into bigger things.
Right.
And, you know, it always takes time. So like, sometimes I know it's hard to like write stuff when stuff like situations are like, you know, bothering you.
Yeah.
So like, what do you do to cope with like stuff bothering you in your writing process or your creative process? Do you have like things you do? Walks on the beach?
Sometimes I do let shit get to me, you know, when something's bothering me. Like I do kind of fall under that like jealousy shit sometimes. But you know, fucking smoke, get over it, start writing, you know. I don't know.
Hey man, takes time, bro. A lot of stuff is just, it's more so just keeping your enthusiasm, you feel me?
Right.
It's something that I learned over time. You just stay enthusiastic about whatever you're doing. Eventually, you'll get to a place of calm, you know what I'm saying? Just never lose the faith and just keep the enthusiasm, whatever you do.
Of course.
For sure, bro. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, like I definitely don't try to like compare myself to other people, you know? And then I like to keep the people around me who genuinely like give me real feedback, you know, like not no yes man people, like people that aren't afraid to tell me like, yo, I'm not too sure about that one, you know, because that's only gonna make me better.
Yeah, you always gotta keep good people in your corner, you know what I'm saying? Like people that want to actually see you evolve and are actually evolving also.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Because if you just stay segregated,
right,
it's never good.
Yeah, you're not gonna improve that way.
You're not. It's always a situation of you gotta have other building blocks and other people that are matchboxes and you're a match.
Yeah.
Say that, you know what I mean? You just gotta have that. And that's always a good thing. It's always good to have positive energy around you because that always fuels you to do better things. It's never a negative situation when you have good people around you.
Right.
Especially people that are just into what you're into. Not necessarily like-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Of course not, because that'd be a yes man situation.
Right.
But people that just really understand where you're going.
Yeah.
And what you're trying to do with your craft and your brand. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Mm-hmm. But for sure. So alright, I would say also, I mean, how are you when it comes to people actually, you know, listening to your music and giving you a bad review?
Well, I'm definitely an open-minded person. So when people have something negative to say or critical to say about my music, I definitely keep an ear open, you feel me? Because I know I'm not for everyone, and I'm not trying to be for everyone. I definitely just want to, you know, I do what I like, and if you fuck with it, then you fuck with it. If you don't, you don't.
Well, that's real talk. I completely get it, bro. So it's like, I have to ask, you know, you running with your friends and all that. What do you want to achieve through your music, if anything at all? Like, are you looking for money? Are you looking for like validation? Like, what are you looking to, you know, like get through this journey you trying to take through this industry?
Honestly, bro, as much as I am trying to make a career out of this shit, I definitely want generations down the line, when they think of the greatest rappers to ever like exist, I just want my name to be in that list, in that top 50 list. You feel me? I don't care if I'm in the 40 to 50, as long as I'm on that list, man, I know I made it. And that's honestly what I'm aiming for.
You aiming high, bro. You got to. You gotta just set your price high, man. You gonna get whatever you put out there. You know, big question, like, how does being James Roy, you know what I'm saying, Roy the Virus, set you apart from any other artist?
I definitely like to think like my appearance plays a role in that. Maybe it's the way I dress, the way I talk, you know, because obviously, like, I go out and I try to promote myself as much as I can, and it has a lot of people like second guessing. Like when I tell them like, yo, like, fuck with me on SoundCloud, I rap, they'll look at me like, yo, like, are you for real? Like, are you fucking with me? And then it just kind of sparks like that curiosity as far as like, yo, let me actually, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me check him out and actually see if he's on some dumb shit or like,
is he serious?
Yeah,
Is he really rap? Is he a hip hop head? What is he listening to?
And I definitely think that's what separates me the most. Like, I like to think I'm kind of just play like a mysterious figure in Broward County. Cause you know, a lot of people are trying to rap, you know, so when they see me like, oh, you're just trying to be like everyone else, but little do they know, and if you know me personally, I've been trying to do this a lot longer than a lot of other people, you know. A lot of other people that are just starting to rap, they'll remind me like, yo, I remember when you were like the first one, you feel me? And I'm only doing this because you inspire me to do it. So it's like, damn, like, if I can be that person for you, that's what's up.
That's the best feeling, bro. It's just always good to inspire, you know what I mean? Bring others up around you. It's just your energy brings whatever you put out and what you bring in, you know what I'm saying? It's always balance out here. You gotta have that balance. You know what I'm saying? Also, it's like, I like to believe artists that like really love their music or like have fallen in love with their craft or whatever it may be, they have a sense of like just urgency to create and put out into like the universe and give to others, really, because it's bigger than just I just put this in my notebook and then just talked on into a microphone on a beat, you know, like it's always deeper than that. So it's a bigger field. So like when you drop music, is it more about the feeling, or are you just doing it because you like doing it?
Yeah, it's definitely like a mix of both. Mm-hmm. You know, if I see a song that doesn't get as much plays as like a previous song, I'm definitely gonna try to figure out why is that the case, you know. But whatever I record, I definitely want to put out, you know. Like, I don't want to be that person that has like 100 unreleased songs in the vault, you know. I want everything I've ever said out there, you know, so you can kind of just like differentiate.
See the catalog.
Yeah, you know, and differentiate like the growth. You can see the growth, the progression, and shit like that.
It's always important, bro. For real, because there's some artists that are like, the scarcity is more thing, you know, you got like Kendrick Lamar, and like, even like, well, most older rappers, all the legends, they don't really drop much. If they still out, like Jay-Z will drop occasionally and go platinum just for fun. You know what I mean? So it's always about putting out as much as the people really want to, but still keeping it genuine, you know what I mean? Because Kendrick Lamar said he'll drop an album this year, he won't drop an album for years because it's so much content, so much message in there.
And not only that, like, I know Kendrick feels like he has a lot of, like, you know, ends to meet as far as like him dropping albums and shit. I feel like they've always been better than the last. So I know that might be kind of like, not pressuring, but you know what I mean? Like, damn, I really gotta come with my shit on this next one.
All the time. Every rapper should feel that way. You should always try to top your last song, your last whatever. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, in this climate, in the industry, a lot of rappers, they don't have a lot of time, you know what I mean? They have like 3-year minimum, 5-year minimum. And
well, I like to think that's because it depends on the rapper and then the label they decide to sign to, you know? Especially, like, what are their intentions in the game, you know? Like, obviously, I don't think Kendrick or J. Cole are in it for the money, you know?
That's what sets them apart from any other rapper. That's what sets you apart from your average construction worker to a guy that just is Einstein.
Facts.
Pretty much, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So, again, it goes back to just the enthusiasm and how they look at it. It's just do their thing. And it's not for them. It's a deeper love for the craft. Cause, I mean, these things don't just fall out of the sky and hit the paper, bro. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, I wish.
Yeah, bro, exactly. They don't. They never do, bro. It's just not how it works, you know what I mean? And then it's another thing, it's just me trying to throw a little metaphor in there. It's like, you never know what the magician does in his own time, you feel me? So that's why when he presents it, you're like, oh, it looks so simple, but
yeah, you have no idea how much it took for that person to practice that shit.
Some people, they say, I don't like to believe that people are naturally talented.
Right.
I believe it, but I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, I'm definitely in between. You know, I can definitely say, like, practice makes perfect.
It does. Revision is always the best decision. You'd agree. But not all the time. You gotta, you know, progress still at the end of the day. It's always about just making the right decisions in the industry and staying true to yourself and just always, you know, putting out your best, even in bad situations and situations that look grim, no matter what. Because again, rappers are still human. We're all humans at the end of the day. So you just gotta just stick to what's you.
Yeah, no one's invincible.
Nobody. You know what I mean? Like, and what I would say is, what kind of music do you feel like you're making, or like what type of audience are you kind of targeting?
That's a good question. Because a lot of the time, I don't really expect a lot of people to relate to what I have to say. I kind of just put it out there and let the reactions speak for themselves, you know? I'll drop a tape, I'll drop a song, people will hit me up like, yo, I fuck with that song, I relate to that shit 100%. And it might not even be from someone I was aiming for to begin with, you feel me? Like in high school, early days of high school, I used to get bullied a lot. You know, they used to pick on me and shit. And so I always kind of fueled that into my music, you know, like rap about it, kind of try to like be a voice for the voiceless type shit.
Yeah, I get it.
But then at the same time, people like that kind of came from like different backgrounds or had a different role in school and shit, they'll come to me and be like, yo, like, you can fucking rap, like, you can spit, like, I don't know anyone else that sounds like you. And I think that's awesome, like, that they acknowledge that shit.
Good feedback.
Yeah, of course.
It's really
you know?
good feedback. You know what I'm saying? People aren't deaf. You know, people
Yeah.
they hear it, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. And they looking, bro.
Definitely,
like,
bro.
I know they're fucking just waiting for me to pop.
All right, so yo, what advice would you give a rapper that's coming up right now? You know, he doesn't have much knowledge of the game or, you know, the craft. What type of advice would you offer him?
So, before I get into that, social media has definitely played a huge part.
Like, yes.
And social media can definitely be the cause for like depression and just like having a negative mindset. So if you're going into this rap shit expecting to blow like overnight, chances are this shit is not for you, because you're gonna just drive yourself crazy, always comparing yourself to others, and just kind of just put yourself in a weird like place, if that makes sense. So I definitely just want to say like patience is key. Work on your craft, study the game. Like if you're a rapper, bro, like do your fucking homework. Like go back, listen to your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. You know, like when Eminem won a Grammy, he would always give props to like the same people. You know, like Pac, Biggie, Cool G Rap, Tretch, and it would make me like, hold on, like let me go and listen to these people.
Look at what they're doing to me every day.
Yeah.
Seriously, bro.
But that's definitely what I would say to people that want to like dive into this shit.
Nah, man, definitely, bro. Most musicians these days record at home. Being an independent artist is always, you know, the best way to market yourself, clearly. Like, what's your recording process like? Do you go to the studio?
So I do have my own setup at my crib that I used to record my first tape with, Roy.exe. So like, you know, when I'm in the comfort of my own home, I don't mind going like 100 takes on a song, you know. But I knew like when I wanted to make a follow-up with the Nelson tape, I wanted to take those tracks to the studio, like a real studio with Raj that used to live with me one time. Yeah, you know. And what Raj did with my tape was just fucking incredible, you know, like definitely makes me want to go back there all the time as far as like recording songs.
No, definitely, bro. Another thing is, my last question, man, you know, making money off music has changed drastically. Are you looking to stay independent, or do you wanna go mainstream?
Man, that's a good. I honestly, as much as I shouldn't say something like this, but I can't even imagine myself being like a huge mainstream rapper. You know, I've always tried to just like aim for something like as achievable as like what MF Doom did in the underground. You know, where like even the mainstream rappers know who he is and acknowledge like, bro, like I genuinely think like MF Doom is one of the greatest rappers of all time.
MF Doom is
like
top 3 rappers.
No, like for real, like
top 3.
You can honestly argue that shit.
Not even. All right, let's break it down this way. Lyrically, and just how he structures his raps. Thank you. Conceptually.
Yes, bro.
He totally takes it there, bro.
And just like, and that's honestly where a lot of my inspiration comes from. This, as far as like the egos, like, you know, you got MF Doom, you got Victor Vaughn, King Ghidorah, and that's kind of how I want to paint my music too. You know, and like in my way, of course, like you got James, you got Roy, and then like how I introduced the character of Nelson. It's like, who knows what chapter 3 has down the line. I know that doesn't really answer your question.
It's just about you know, your crowd. You're just talking about your personas and
facts,
you know, what you're trying to create.
Like, I definitely want to like earn my first check sometime soon with the music I put out. You know, I don't want to have to fucking pay to perform at some whack ass show. You know, I want that shit to pay me. You know,
makes sense. Yeah, bro. When you come in the game, Jay-Z said, when you come in the game, they try to play you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that, but sometimes you gotta kneel sometimes to get where you want. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll get up when you get up. You feel me?
Exactly.
It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of failure, cut and burn situations. You know what I'm saying? And eventually you grow from it, and you just become a better artist, you know what I'm saying, better businessman, or whatever you're trying to achieve, you know what I mean? Because hip hop is a big facet also. It's like a highway, you know what I'm saying? You step into music, you get to like, okay, yeah, you can make music, or you can be an engineer, so many lanes, let alone you can use the music to go be an actor, and go use,
Yeah, because like I said, when I said, I want to write movies too.
Yeah.
You know, like I go to school for film production and shit. So it's like, you know, I want to, in the future, I know I'm not going to be rapping forever.
Yeah, man.
Or make it like my main source of income, or like my main passion. Like I'm just as passionate for film as I am with rap. So like,
it's a good balance. They're pretty similar.
You know, and I definitely want to be able to like incorporate them with each other. You know, like I definitely want to produce my own music videos and sketches and skits, exactly, like, you know, write short films, eventually write like a feature film and shit.
You know, it's pretty dope, and I recently seen Tupac directed a lot of indie artists that
like music videos.
Yes. Damn, not a lot of us even know about.
Of course, yeah, bro. A lot of people don't know the people that like stand behind the camera, or just kind of like
are part of the production.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like if you watch a movie and I ask you like, oh, who edited the movie?
I don't know. I just exactly. know the characters.
And you know, they kind of teach you like, oh, it's important to watch the credits. But like, you know, like who wants to do that?
Who watches the credits?
But like at the same time, you got to give credits where credits due.
True. It's always that, man. It's always important to stay, you know, stay on your toes with in any situation, anything going on, you know what I mean? Especially hip hop. You just gotta do the math and do your research.
Of course.
And pay homage to the legends and all the goats out there, you know what I mean? So I appreciate my boy Roy the Virus for stopping by. It's been fantastic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. It's always a pleasure just linking up with you.
Legendary, bro, you know what I'm saying? Till we meet again.
Till we meet again, bro.
Podcast with your boy Suave the Wiz. I'm out of here.
You already know.
I'm chasing after this bag like it's the ice cream truck. Pulled out a bottle, opened it up, and then lightning struck. Captured it, studied it, and mastered it. And I adapted quick, but now I'm trapped in this pursuit of happiness. Sometimes I feel like I'm the good guy turned bad, and I have to prove that I'm not a fucking dirtbag. A life of fame and fortune, do I deserve that? Am I still present of a mentally disturbed past? Blah blah. I don't know.